touching me.
You won't be.
All right, we're live.
Sorry, I was getting ready.
Are we ready?
Yep.
All right, wonderful. I'm going to call the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for December 9th, 2024 to order. Please have a roll call.
David?
Here.
Barry?
Here.
Craig?
Here.
Becky?
Here.
Ross?
Here.
And Joyce?
Here.
All's present?
Lord, in this time of prayer, Lord, remember Frank Spradlin tonight, Lord. Touch your healing hand on him tonight, Lord, and tell him he's not alone. And Lord, be with our village, and be with our mayor and our council and our law enforcement. And Lord, be with Jack now as he ends the world of retirement, Lord, and protect him for all the things he wants to do, Lord. And Lord, remember, we know it's your son, Jesus. We remember the reason for the season. In Jesus' wonderful, wonderful name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the council minutes from the council meeting, the meeting minutes from the council meeting on November the 25th, 2024.
Have that
please?
motion.
Thank you, David. Is there a second? Thank you, Craig.
David, Craig? Okay, roll call. David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Here.
Ross?
Yes.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Becky voiced yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, Ross?
Yes.
And Joyce?
Yes.
All right. Mayor's report. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the last meeting of the year. I have to be honest with you. I'm sure I'm not the only person here, but I am shocked that the year has literally flown all the way by, and we are at December the 9th. It is unbelievable to me. In my mayor's report tonight, I'd like to talk a little bit about 2024, and then we'll talk a little bit about 2025, because at this time of the year, you always look for the year ahead, too. So how about we start with some pretty big numbers to kick things off. We as a village landed more than $600,000 in grants this year, nearly all of which will go to infrastructure improvement and improving village accessibility. These grants were without the need for matching money on our part, and they allow us to keep plowing forward on all the big projects that affect everyone in this village the most. In the next 18 to 24 months, we will be spending just about $2.6 million on infrastructure, and just infrastructure alone, the stuff that sits in the ground or maybe above the ground about 150 feet. That'll put us on pretty solid footing for years to come when it comes to basically this big stuff, like water towers and sewer. We've also doubled down on safety this year. A good example would be the culvert improvements on South Market and Valley View, and by replacing our tornado siren back in April. We also improved safety and accessibility in a downtown corridor by redoing all the sidewalks and installing high visibility signage. You can probably tell that downtown is a focus for us right now. We want people who drive through here to stop here. We want them to stay here. And yes, we want them to move here. And that starts by having public spaces like our downtown where folks spend time to be both safe and accessible for everybody. The village has also started to move the needle in 2024 on improved service delivery, and you've heard me talk a little bit about how we changed our service team. We expanded the team this year to put more boots on the ground and get more done. I've been pretty clear over the course of the year we need to minimize the number of people in offices and maximize the number of people actually out in the community doing stuff. This approach has allowed us to be more proactive over the course of the year, and a great example would be how we're complying with EPA regulations. I'm pleased to say that together with our partners at Tri-County Fire, as well as the Rural Community Action Partnership, our water distribution system is compliant with lead service line regulations and valve maintenance literally years before the deadline is upon us. Other communities are behind the 8 ball. We are not. This was a team effort, and we got it done first time final by the deadline, thanks to the crew that we have here. And I appreciate every single thing that they do. Now, that's not to say we're taking a victory lap on service in the village, not by a long shot. I think everyone would agree on that. We will always have opportunities to improve, but this is recognition of hard work starting to pay off over the course of this year. Looking ahead to 2025, construction is going to begin on the water tower project, which has been 3 years. I can't even believe I'm saying that, right? Construction's going to last about a year, so hopefully by this time next year, the skyline of Mount Sterling is going to look a little bit different. We will begin the process of finalizing the next round of sewer improvements in 2025 as well, hopefully going to bid as soon as we can get the sign-offs we need on the paperwork. The end of this year is also a time to reflect on those who have left us, or in one very specific case, will be leaving us shortly. I would like to take a moment to recognize the service of Deputy Jack Dill to this community. As you know, Jack has been a pillar for many years, having served in a pretty good number of law enforcement roles for us. You've seen him wearing a lot of different hats, both for the village and for the county. He will be retiring at the end of this year, but I'm pretty sure you're going to continue to see him around town pretty often. In recognition of his service and our thanks to him, I would ask that Jack accept a small token of our town's appreciation for this certificate of appreciation. And we can get you this right now. Thank you. You got
Thank you,
it.
Jack.
Thank you, Jack.
Best of luck.
And finally, a big shout out to all the volunteers who over the course of this year has spent their free time getting involved in village events. Whether it's council meetings or in the events like we just had over the weekend with Christmas in the village. You don't have to do it, but your involvement makes all the difference. It makes for incredible events that shine in our village. My many thanks to council, and particularly our other staff, Courtney, Misty, and Candy. This year, I have appreciated working with all of you, and I especially look forward to a productive 2025 serving all of our residents. On that note, thank you, and over to our President Pro Tem for her comments.
Thank you. I should probably just say ditto for Andy, because a lot of what he's mentioned, I also have a lot to say along the same regard. But as we bring 2024 to a close, I want to say what an honor and a privilege it has been to serve as your Council President Pro Tem. I've enjoyed working on projects with most of you, committees with other council members, and volunteers from the community. I also, as our mayor has said, am very proud of all the accomplishments and improvements that we've made within our village this past year. We've invested thousands of dollars in things from repairing potholes to infrastructure to park improvements, becoming more ADA compliant. We currently have the $1.9 million water tower project scheduled to begin in the spring, $2 million project for the infrastructure street repairs, along with the, I believe it's the culvert on Market and Valley View. To my knowledge, we have been awarded more grants this year in 2024 than I've ever seen awarded dollar amount wise. Fire hydrants are all in working order, no more trash bags over them, and that is huge to me, because I know we came into the year with at least 6 to 9 with trash bags over them. So the guys have worked really hard on that. Maintenance throughout the village has finally become a priority with our staff here. We're getting a new sign. That's forthcoming. Our website has been upgraded. I know it's not perfect, but it's so much better than what we had before, and we're so proud of it. Our goal has been to get as much done as possible with as little or no financial impact to our village. As you said, it's kind of nice to be ahead of the 8 ball instead of behind the 8 ball. We have a great focus for that, and I'm very proud of that. Lastly, I'm pleased to share that due to some of the donations from tournaments held at Mason Park, we now have a slight balance in our park fund to carry over to 2025. And I'm proud of that. We also have the donation from the American Legion to pay for the movie licensing for the summer movie nights in 2025. And this all takes a village. It takes fundraisers. It takes all kinds of things, to plan and prepare for these things, not just jump in and do things haphazardly. Again, I want to thank all of the volunteers that we've had this year. As Andy said, you don't have to volunteer, but I've seen new volunteer faces this year, and they've meant a lot to our village, and they've meant a lot to the people who have been able to share in a lot of the events that we've had. So it certainly does take a village. Again, best of luck to Jack. We wish him well. Leave your address if you go to Florida, so we can all stop in and say hello. And I just want to say to everyone, Merry Christmas. Have a blessed and safe holiday season, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. All right, we have no public comment or visitors, no executive session tonight. So we'll move on with department reports. Last one of the year. The last one. How about that?
All right. You guys have that in front of you?
Yep.
Does anybody have any comments on it? Questions?
You want to do some call-outs? What's your favorites on the list tonight?
Traffic stops, this is for 2 weeks. There's 12 traffic stops. You're gonna notice next year, a lot of the business checks, suspicious people, suspicious vehicles, you're gonna see those numbers increase greatly. That's due to a new policy change in our office that's taking effect in the first of the year. So you're gonna see a lot more activity as far as the sheriff's office goes. Calls for service is probably gonna remain the same, you know, up and down like it normally is, but traffic stops, suspicious vehicles, suspicious person, those are open for business checks, all that good stuff.
Questions for Jack tonight?
Jack, I just want to make a comment. I said, Jack, I've known you probably the most anybody in this room, probably. And I'm proud to call you my friend. And you've always watched my house when I went on vacation. I am going to miss talking about baseball cards before the meetings. We always had to discuss Pete Rose's rookie. But thank you for what you did for the town, Jack.
All right, with that, I'm gonna give you a little bit of history with me, and, like I was explaining earlier, my career started right here in Mount Sterling, right in this office. This room is where my career in law enforcement started. I was here for 6 years, went to the sheriff's office, and then I came back here for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been here since 2012 until now. That's 18 years, 31 in Mount Sterling. So I've been in this town, I love this town, I love the people in this town. It's been very fulfilling.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate your service again, and you know, you should come back. We wanna see you.
I'll be back.
Unless we can
I'm
all.
not moving to Florida.
I was gonna say, can we visit you in Florida? Is there any way we?
Moving anytime soon.
I mean, we'll pay by the night. It's no problem. I mean, we'll Airbnb it. It's okay, Jack.
I'll make sure I get a big enough house. But I just want to say thank you for allowing me to finish out my career down here in Mount Sterling where I belong.
We appreciate the
Thank you,
service.
Jack.
Thank you, and have a great holiday.
You'll be missed in the village, Jack.
All right, Law Director, we have no update or report. Zoning and Building, I believe we'll get more updated when we have the committee reports here in just a moment. So that takes us to Fiscal Officer and Clerk of Council, Courtney.
Okay, so no questions or comments from council? Nothing? Okay, I attended a full day of training today for year end, one of, I think, 8 trainings I'll be in before the end of the year. So, again, year end is gonna be my busy time, so if you guys do have any questions or concerns or comments or issues, please feel free to reach out to me. If I can't get a hold of you, I'll text you and say, hey, I'm in a training. I don't have any other questions other than you guys will be approving tonight the November bank reconciliation. And the December one will be approved at the next council meeting for January. And only thing that I have on the November one is an adjustment for $155.35. That was an NSF check that was returned back from the water department. You guys, I also send out the October one, because I only received a couple of signatures on it.
Let's get that wrapped up, please.
So,
Yeah.
if there are no questions or any issues that anybody has, again, just for the public's knowledge, at the end of the year, probably around January, February, the year-end reports will be available. So again, if you have any questions or anybody in the public has any questions, a year-end report is generated. It does get sent to the state auditors. And,
OhioCheckbook.gov.
yep, OhioCheckbook.gov will be published as well.
Yeah, you don't even need to come in here. If you want to see the whole workup, just go out to OhioCheckbook.gov, type in Mount Sterling, and you will have it.
That's right. Okay, with that said, I would ask for a motion to approve the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated, the cash summary by fund report, the reader reports, and the bank reconciliation for November of 2024.
You have that motion.
Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you.
David, Joyce?
Mhm.
Okay, Barry?
Yes. If I said David,
Barry, yes.
my fault.
Okay. Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
Okay, so I will have 4 documents here, please have those signed.
Yes, all of them,
If you've
all of
already
them,
signed
all
under
the way through.
finance, took-
That's right.
Did a few signatures.
It's that
but
time of
make
year.
sure you have it signed.
Thank you. Any questions for Courtney before we move on? Otherwise, we're moving to committee reports this evening. Okay, not hearing any. Finance, we're going to go on to committee reports. Finance, Joyce.
Yes, we met for our final meeting of the year. We just did pretty much, we didn't have any real new business other than just talking about the water tower. But we did, kind of did a recap of the year, which was quite nice. There are no meetings scheduled going into the new year. That'll all be taken care of in January. I don't have anything really to report other than, we're going to finish off with the budget. Hopefully, it will
Budget is tonight,
be the
yeah.
final vote tonight. Other than that, I don't have anything else to report. It was a good meeting.
All right, Pleasant Township, David.
We had this a short meeting. The new meeting time now is at 5 p.m. Now we meet on Mondays. Discussed a little bit of snow we had. Talked about there was a few slippery spots in the county on the roads around the area. Had that, talked about that, and preparing for more salt when the time comes, and paid the bills, and that's about it.
All right, thank you. Squad, Joyce.
We will be meeting this Wednesday evening.
Okay, I believe that is what, the 10th? No, 11th, 11th.
Yes, at 8 o'clock.
11th at 8 o'clock, got it, thanks. Ross, fire.
We had a meeting on the 2nd of December. Talked about some old business, and Chief Dave Taylor was going to go do the final inspection on the new unit that's coming in, hopefully the first of the year, and he was going back up to where it's being built at. We had 2 new applicants for the part-time positions. We've made 554 dispatched calls and 27 ahead of last year.
That's not a statistic we want to go up, but here's where we're at. I'm sorry to hear it, but thanks for the update. Water, wastewater, Joyce.
Yes, once again, we met, we had a lovely meeting with everyone, and we just did a year in review. Talked, again, a lot about the water tower, and no meeting scheduled for January. That will be done when everyone takes office next year.
Okay. Streets, Craig.
I have no report.
Okay. Parks and Rec, Joyce.
No report for Parks and Rec.
I have something.
Yep.
I'm just going to reiterate Rule 6, Number 6, for standing committees, which is the chairperson is required to set up a one-year schedule for finance, water, wastewater, streets, parks and recreation. These require 1 meeting per month. Projects go before specified committees only. That is a rule of council. Again, it's not a suggestion, it's not an idea, it's a rule of council that we've been violating on purpose for 4 months. You just heard a report in finance and a report in wastewater that both said we had no new business, we just had a recap of the year, but yet we have not been allowed to have a parks meeting for 4 months. So, I don't know what we're hiding, but
Nothing.
it's very sad. There are people that have genuine concerns about the park. The public should be allowed to hear what's going on, how much money is there, what our ideas are. There's a lot of things to be discussed, and it's very discouraging that we're not doing that.
I have a rebuttal to that. Anytime anyone wants to know anything, we have full disclosure on all of our finances. They can contact me or they can contact Courtney Bricker. Honestly, for full transparency, we did not have meetings. Number one, we didn't have any meetings because there's no new business to discuss. Number two, the last meeting we had was adjourned because of the behavior of another council person. I'm not going to go through that anymore. I refuse to go through that anymore. I am not a chair of a committee to take a beating verbally by being called names for no reason. I have full transparency on everything I do in this village for this council. And anyone who has any questions, you want to go to Facebook and air dirty laundry, go right ahead. If you want to come to me and be an adult about it and talk to me, I will gladly sit down and have a conversation.
And on that note, statement's been
you.
made and rebutted. Thank you. Record of retention, David.
Yes, we met this last Friday. We got in there some good old time stuff to look at. We went back as far as 1989, but I want to thank my group. I had a good group to work with all year.
Yes.
We got work done. We had a lot of fun. And Courtney, I want to thank you for the hard work you did for us all the time. You was always there, and our mayor was always show up. And it was fine to blow off the old dust and learn a lot of history. And if I am back doing that again, I look forward to working with the group again. I'll thank my workers again, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right, nuisance abatement, Barry.
Yeah, we had no meeting today, but if I'm confirmed next year to do it again, we will have a meeting as soon as we can to talk about spring cleanup. So I'm want to hit that running as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Other
actually,
than that-
and we've had some action within the last 10 days, actually. So, yeah, so things are still rolling on nuisance
Good job
abatement,
on
even though
nuisance this year, Barry.
we're into December. All right, planning, Joyce.
We don't have anything on the schedule, and I haven't heard of anything that we're going to have in December.
Okay. And those are only held, of course, when there's business brought by residents.
Right.
Zoning, Ross.
We had a meeting last week regarding a fence to be built. However, I forgot my notes on that particular item, so I can't tell you where it's at.
But the
Valley
fence,
View.
the
Yeah,
Valley
it
View,
was in
but the
Valley
Valley
View.
View fence was
Yeah,
approved, if I
it
remember
was
correctly.
approved,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. So we had a resident who requested a fence variance, and it was approved. All right, tree beautification, Becky.
Yes, we had a meeting today, and the meeting was a great meeting. We discussed, we need to get our Tree City application renewed. It's something that needs to be done every year, so we're going to be working on that next week. We're going to be applying for a growth award, and hopefully we can achieve that to receive more recognition next May at Tree City USA Awards. Alistair from the Hire Department
ODNR.
yeah, was here today. We made a field trip when the meeting was over, and we went out to the oldest tree location, and he gave us his input on how the trees should be pruned, what should happen to the landscape. So we're going to have to work with the village and work with other volunteers to get that in order. We have a goal. We did set our year of events today, but we do have a goal for June 26th, which is Founders Day for Mount Sterling, Ohio. Mount Sterling was founded June 26, 1829, and so this year we hope, we're coming up on our 200,
Yeah.
but this year will be 4 years away from that. But our goal is to have the Vista completed out there and hopefully have a bench in and have it open to the public and have a ribbon cutting. So that is our goal with, along with a lot of other events for the year that next year, hopefully, I will be telling you about as well. And with that said, I wanted to say a small token of appreciation for what all of you do to make the village a better place to live in. Hopefully, we can do a little more to make this happen in the coming year. But these flowers are a gift from the Tree and Beautification Committee. They're not out of our budget. They are on personal donations. So everyone does have, did you get one?
Yes, right.
Okay. A flower, and we appreciate it. And
So do you know if you have to sing to this thing? Or like,
You
how do
do
you actually grow
not.
this,
But
this thing here?
I was told that they like to be in their tight container, like you should keep them in the container.
Uh-huh.
And
So for the public, this is an Amaryllis hippeastrum, which is got some Dutch and German on the one side. So there you go. I don't know. I don't.
Chinese over
Oh
there.
yeah,
and-
I don't know anything about
Okay.
these, so that is very interesting. Yeah.
Yep, so, that is a gift, and, that's all I have.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I
Thank
ask
you.
a couple
Very
of
nice.
questions, please, for the tree and beautification?
Sure,
How many, you have 9 people in your committee?
yes.
And how many would you say normally show up to the meetings?
Today we had 6.
Is that normal?
No, 7, 8 sometimes, 9 once in a blue moon, but usually 7, 8. Today we had 2 regular members that couldn't attend for other obligations.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Right. That takes us to the ordinances and resolutions section of our meeting tonight. Let's start out with ordinance 2024-07.
Yes, it's an ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures for the village of Mount Sterling for the state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st of 2025. This is on the 3rd reading.
May I please have a motion to place this on the 3rd reading?
Yes.
Thank you, Ross. Is there a second? Thank you, David.
Ross, David? Okay,
Roll call, please. Thank
Craig?
you.
Yes.
Becky?
Yes,
Ross?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
All right, may I have a motion for passage? Thank you, Barry. That's very kind of you to be lickety split. May I have a second, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Barry and Joyce.
Yep.
Roll call, Becky?
yes,
Ross?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
All right, motion ordinance of 2024-07 has passed.
Thank you. All right, ordinance 2024-09, an ordinance for rezoning of the, I'm sorry, I'm reading your mind, but
That's
an ordinance for the rezoning of the property at 73 South London Street from a B1 to R4.
And this came out of Planning's Committee
Mm-hmm.
for a rezone. You guys have received the map and the reasoning there.
Yep.
This is going to be on the first reading.
May I please have a motion to place it on the first reading?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Craig. Is there a second, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Ross.
Craig, Ross? Okay, roll call. Becky?
yes,
Ross?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Yes? Is that a yes?
Yes, yes, yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
We mixed up over here
There we go.
from the last meeting, huh?
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another ordinance here. Again, this is going to be passed, I think Becky touched on this last council meeting and this council meeting. This is just an ordinance accepting the creation of the Tree and Beautification Committee and requirements of the committee and declaring an emergency. You guys earlier in the year approved a legislation to allow the committee to exist. This is just per the request from ODNR that we actually present this for becoming a tree city.
It'd be officially committee then,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Well, they've already were a committee, this is just to be a tree city.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is not, it doesn't change anything, the requirements and the responsibilities are still the same?
yes,
This would
motion.
be okay, for the
Well,
suspension of the rule.
Right, I need a motion to suspend the rules to start out with, because this is being done on emergency. Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, David.
Okay, so that was Becky, then David. Okay, Ross,
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
And Becky.
Yes,
All right. May I have a motion to place this on the first, second, and third readings, please?
Add that motion, sir.
Thank you, David.
Second.
Thank you, Ross.
David, Ross? Okay, roll call. Joyce?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
yes,
Ross?
Yes.
All right, may I have a motion for passage, please?
motion,
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you.
That was Becky. Barry?
Yep.
Okay, roll call. David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
yes,
Ross?
Yes.
And Joyce?
Yes.
And again, for this ordinance, just for the public's concern, there's no changes to the committee, okay?
All
All
right.
right, and final is the last piece of legislation, is a resolution number 2024-15. A resolution tentatively awarding the construction contracts for the Mount Sterling 150,000-gallon elevated storage tank project to Caldwell Tanks, Inc., and the demolition of the old water tower to Alpha Demolition, Inc., subject to final approval for financing for the project from the Ohio EPA.
May I please have a motion to
You have
place
that.
this on the first reading? This will all be done on 3 readings.
Correct?
You have that motion.
Thank you,
I
Craig.
have a second here.
Okay,
Yep.
that was Craig, then Joyce.
Yep.
Okay, roll call. Barry,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
yes,
Ross,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yes.
And David.
Yes.
Thank you.
My mind's so cynical.
Don't know
My mind's
what
so
wing that
red.
is going on. On this one, I really appreciate this. I can't emphasize enough, this is the next step in our journey to build this. This is a very large project for us, and we're 3 years in. It's very surprising to look back and see 3 years, but we're coming down to honestly the last final step. So thank you for that, and looking forward to getting ground broken, hopefully in the spring when things look good. All right, roundtable.
I got to thank Pastor Alston, him and his youth group. They always do the manger scene here, and I seen those kids practice, prepare for that, to be ready for cold weather, and they get God's word out there and stuff. And also, I got to put this on. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. There you go.
Oh.
You just got to have that Christmas.
Rudolph, David, by
Yeah.
chance.
Or it's a blemish, one or the other. I just wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. Other comments for roundtable?
I want to thank the chamber and everyone else. There were 15 sponsors for our Christmas in the Village. A lot of work put in by village employees, by volunteers, by business owners. I just want to thank everyone. A lot of hard work and planning went into the event, and it was very successful. I think if you were out here for the parade, it's just amazing how many people were.
I got to hand it to the marching bands both. You know, they were awesome, and they show up great every single year. It's never an awesome time considering the weather, but
cold.
boy, do they they just do a fantastic
They
job.
did. And you know, when we were lining up, we were over there lined up for half an hour, and they played that time too. And so they were playing their hearts out for quite a while, and
That's pretty
they were
fantastic.
very, very nice young people. So we appreciate everyone that came out and supported the event, and you know, our goal is just that it gets better and better every year. And again, thank you to everyone that helped with that. There's just probably too many to thank. So very grateful, and I'm with David. Have a very Merry Christmas. And I guess we'll see each other at the beginning of the new year.
That's right. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to say happy holidays.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any
I
other-
did get one good response from October. Got a call from people, came from Xenia, Ohio, just to come to our haunted house. I know it's Christmas time. They said the one they had in Xenia couldn't top what they had down here, so Mount Sterling gets some recognition no matter
right.
what,
Yeah.
wherever we do, so.
Yeah, we like it. Other comments around the table? All right, on that note, we are adjourned. Thank you for your participation tonight. Look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Have a very good evening, a very Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
I totally went off. I was walking as you were still talking.
No, you're good.
You know,
Thank you.
one thing about that thing, it makes me look a little bit lighter.
A little bit what?
Lighter.